Real quickly before we jump into the video, if you guys are interested in checking it out for the first time or you need a restock, if you head on over to gfuel.com and use code ESPRESSO at checkout, you get 30% off your entire order, not just the standard 10, for today only. It ends at midnight, so this is a real last second chance to get this. If you guys want to check it out, go head over there and take advantage of the extra little bit of savings you have while you still have the opportunity. That said, back to the regularly scheduled content. It's Tuesday, you know what that means. It's update day for Black Ops 4, and though we didn't get a title update like we initially anticipated, I'm still holding out my money and putting that on the 29th, and assuming it's not delayed again for the content that is supposed to be coming at the end of the month, that being League Play and Mastery camos, well, then next Tuesday obviously is the only option for our second and final update of January. So, like we mentioned in yesterday's video, keep an eye out for that next week and what may come on the horizon, but today we actually did get a playlist update. So, we got a surprising amount of content added in just for a playlist update. So today in this video, we're going to be breaking down everything that changed and everything that's new within Black Ops 4. So let's just jump right into it. So right off the bat, once you launch the game, you will have gotten a playlist update if your game was active, or if you logged on for the first time after 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It'll all be there by default to begin with. So right off the bat, you end up seeing that you have a different main menu selection, or at least in the way of multiplayer. This week, we have Chaos Domination featured as that initial mode. This game mode will allow for the capture time per objective to be reduced to 3 seconds so you capture flags faster. The score limit per round has been increased to 150 rather than just 100, and then that also means the score limit for the entire game was increased to 300, not just your standard 200. So it allowed a little bit more longevity to the game if you're somebody that is, say, going for your tier progression, you want to grind out the actual playtime. This week, that's the best bet outside of blackout matches that will help you out here at this one. But being 6v6, it can be complete chaos, but it's also a lot of fun. It's also not as broken as things like what we just had with Chaos Control. That was something that mode really showcased how broken some of the spawns were on the maps and the mode of control in particular, because the spawns literally do not flip. You can be up inside the spawns and you can watch people spawn. So if you got demolished by, say, 6-man parties this past week and you want a little bit of a curveball or change up from that, you may run into some sweats, but you should, for the most part, not get trapped as much as before, and that's simply just because of the way spawns work in Domination. Spawns don't act the exact same way as control spawns, so you should flip out in that aspect. But definitely give it a try if you haven't already. It is a returning mode, so not necessarily brand new, but outside of that, we also have the return of Team Tac Moshpit. This is a 3v3 mashup of modes like TDM, Kill Confirmed, Search and Destroy, and Domination. But for this, it's not the full range of the maps, so you're not going to have every single map in the rotation here at this one. Instead, you're going to have the maps of Frequency, Gridlock, Arsenal, Icebreaker, Firing Range Night, Summit, Slums, and Contraband. And that's simply just because the pace on other maps would make it way too slow. But it's an interesting breakaway from your traditional gameplay experience, and it's honestly a ton of fun if you want something to just change up the pace of how you play, or if you end up having just a smaller party, you can end up maybe, say, stomping Team Tac compared to taking your chances in lobby surfing against maybe a full 6-man in Chaos Domination. But outside of that, we still, of course, have our Mercenary capture mosh pits available, but the other big thing is the DLC maps are again in the regular rotation. If you ended up taking a little bit longer to find a match today, it's probably due to that, because matchmaking now sifts through Black Ops pass holders and will now grant the ability for players who have them to play Madagascar and Elevation in all game modes now. You name it. TDM, Search and Destroy, all that good stuff. And for you hardcore players out there, they're even in the hardcore modes now, which is of course fantastic. I personally don't mind that it was in the map pack mosh pit for so long, but I totally understand where players wanted to be able to get some use out of them in the regular rotation. I always find myself not liking the DLC maps as much as the standard maps from launch. I don't know why. So in that case, it's kind of why I don't necessarily mind. But again, that's not everybody's opinion, and I totally understand. So it's great to see it now officially added in, and there should be no issues so far. The map pack mosh pit has not been back online. Team Tac is still there. The maps are still in the rotation, but it is something that now they're finally there. Second week's a charm, apparently. But outside of updates for all platforms, whether that be on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, PlayStation 4 got a little bit more content added in, which Xbox One and PC users will be able to experience next week. But that is something that we got a whole brand new Black Market update, or one part that's actually rather big, one thing that is new amidst a bunch of refreshes, but it is still some stuff that you can work out for the next couple of weeks, no less. Firstly, let's talk about the Blackjack Shop. Let's work our way from left to right here. Outside of the brand new weekly item, everything else is a similar refreshed item, something that we've seen before: the Zero outfit, the weapon camo of Cherry Blossom, the war paint, the calling cards, and the stickers for the daily items. But what is brand new is finally we end up seeing the Vapor Vampire Hunter Mastercraft bundle. It's not just the Vapor Vampire Hunter Mastercraft that is available, but for 1,000 COD points, and if you were lucky enough earlier, it was something of a glitch where it only took 500 to 600 COD points. That's now been fixed out, unfortunately. But for the next 6 days, you'll have the option to get for 1,000 COD points the bundle of the Bleeding Warpaint, the Demon Skull sticker, the Werewolf tag, the Moonlight Showdown calling card, and then finally the Vampire Hunter Vapor variant. Now, where the bundle differs from, say, a special order is that you won't need to grind out tiers to progressively unlock it. You just end up getting all 5 items right up front for that 1,000 COD points. So at least with this, you get a little bit of content, and it's not exclusively $10 on the weapon variant, though. Let's be real, we're probably all not going to really care about the other content, but it is nice there's some other content associated with it as well. I'm also stoked for at least the next week I can have a killer variant for the Vapor in Blackout, since we can't cross camos and reactive camos in particular just yet. But it's also something that if you don't use the Vapor, it's still a cool one to have. But finally, this also closes off the content that we know we're getting with Absolute Zero, so I wouldn't expect any more Mastercrafts until the next event, but that's something you can pick up for the next 6 days and a couple hours and change. But that was one of the first big things added into PlayStation 4's update earlier today. Believe it or not, we actually also, moving over to the next tab of the Contraband stream, we actually got an update mid-event for Black Ops 4 in which we get more content added in. Of course, whenever we have special orders, that shows up on that tab as well, but this one is just like the winter, just like the Halloween event, completely free and offers 25 new tiers of items to grind out for the next 27 days and a few hours and change. This new special event entitled The Barbarians actually has some pretty cool stuff available with it. It's going to go until the 19th of February on PlayStation 4, and then of course when it's introduced next week on Xbox One and PC, it will go until the end of Operation Absolute Zero for you guys as well, just a week later at that point, just the way the timing works out. But with this, you end up getting 1 war paint of the Pixel Perfect, 5 stickers of the Dark Knight, Winged Skull, Demon Flame, Honor, and Death Vigil, 6 calling cards of the City Snake, Gorgons, Supplication, Leviathan, Winged Serpent, and Backflip, 6 tags of the Battle Stance, Onward, Executioner, Honor, Dive Attack, and Dark Rider, 3 outfits of the Black Adder Torque outfit, Warlock Crash uniform, the Tectonic Ruin uniform, and then 3 gestures of the Wave, Nub, Don't Shoot, and finally then getting down to the last 2 items of choice that are actually probably the most worthwhile here out of this list of content, the Reactive Camo of the Roadtrip for the Hades, and then 1 brand new weapon of the fully auto Cat 45 pistol. Now, this is something that when we take a look at it, of course, a lot of that stuff we might not care about. The Warpaint stickers, calling cards, tags, not so much for me. The outfits are actually pretty cool. The Warlock Crash uniform is honestly, I think, one of the cooler uniforms in the game so far, and especially being somebody that loves that extra health and that extra points with each kill or EKIA. With the Assault Pack, I think I'm going to be using this one quite a lot. The gestures, not all that bad. The Reactive Camo, awesome, and the pistol, awesome as well. Now, here's the thing. Breaking it down a little bit further, at tier 20, you will get that Roadtrip Camo for the Hades. All you have to do to unlock this and then unwrap it for any other weapon that you may have that is gold you can use it for. That's something that all you have to do is get 9 kills with the Hades in a single game, which is relatively straightforward, very simple. It is something that make sure you get the kill and not EKIAs. That threw me for a little bit of a trip when I thought I already got it and maybe it was bugged, but that's something that once you get those 9 kills, it unlocks. Then it'll rotate on the basis of kills, going in those Reactive Camos orders of 3 kills, 6 kills, and 9 kills, though I gotta say, I think the 6 kill one may be my favorite if I'm honest. That sunset vibe just really gets me, man. But it is definitely something very cool, very worthwhile, and again, completely free, so that's great. And then talking a little bit about the Cat 45, the one that I'm sure a lot of players are definitely looking forward to trying out and getting their hands on. It's honestly not all that bad. It's a secondary, yes, it's a machine pistol, so it does have a better rate of fire than, say, your Strife, than your RK7 and your Mozu, but it is something that, statistically, it's not all that bad. It's touted as having higher damage, which it actually is relatively higher, especially for a secondary. The damage properties of this are at its 4 ranges, 28 per shot, 23, 21, and 18 damage. Now, if that's something you're curious on how it compares to, every single SMG, save for the Spitfire, has a max DPS of 28. The Spitfire is at 27. So the Cat 45 is legitimately SMG caliber, and the only thing that I think is kind of a counter to it not being an SMG in its own right, or something that makes it as viable an option as an SMG, is the magazine size. Obviously, with a pistol, a secondary, you're not going to have as much ammunition per magazine as an SMG, but it is something that if you end up getting off those kills, you might notice it is actually pretty comparable to SMGs, and rightfully so. So it's the first time we've seen DLC weapons introduced mid-event, and this now opens up the possibility for it to happen again with other weapons in the future. Maybe we're not just limited to weapon DLC once every event, but maybe a couple of times. But regardless, here's what I like about the Barbarians event and the way the Cap 45 itself was presented and introduced. You can get this by simply utilizing tier skips. There's 27 days and some change left on the event, and only 25 items on this limited time event as a whole. So if you simply log on and get 1 kill in Blackout, 1 win in MP, or get to round 15 in Zombies, you're going to get it guaranteed by the end of the event. And so also any chances are that you won't just log on and play that one game that it takes to do that. You might end up playing a little bit more, whether that be a couple of matches or a couple of hours of matches. You're gonna make a lot more progress by simply just playing consistently. So it's definitely something that is organically way more accessible than maybe say even tier 100 with a SWAT RFT. So as for how this was presented, I think I'm okay with it. I don't really have any quarrels with it at the very moment. Maybe you guys do, and of course, if you do, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But outside of the brand new contraband stream items, we do have some stuff in the special orders. These are both returning, so it's not necessarily brand new, but if you guys missed it, the Cypher Reactive Camo and Zero outfit are now available for 700 COD points, and the Horned Viper is available again as that second special order. The Cypher special order is going to be there all week, and the Horned Viper is going to be going away halfway through the week, so take advantage of that if you guys will. But outside of that, Xbox One and PC also get some introductions into some content as well. You now have the brand new Gauntlets on PC and Xbox One for Zombies, the new 30-round challenge-based game mode for Zombies. Ton of fun. Again, check that out if you guys have the opportunity to do so. And if you guys are willing to put any time into Zombies, ton of fun as well with that one. You also have brand new elixirs, 3 of those for Zombies as well. And then for the shop content that was updated, like we talked about yesterday, PlayStation 4 stuff from the last week is now available for you guys. So you have the Masked Reactive Camo, the Fees Seraph Uniform, the Cyclops Reticle, the Touchdown Gesture, the Richtofen Special Order, and the Copperhead Battery Bundle. And then tomorrow on Xbox One and PC, you also will get Down But Not Out for Blackout, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, you'll be able to do that relatively soon. And outside of all this kind of stuff, the only other thing that changed actually deals with Xbox One and PlayStation 4. PC is not a part of this because it doesn't utilize the same features, but the brand new stash interface that we got introduced to as of recently actually got some workarounds that no longer glitches out and requires you to back out and re-enter the death stashes, and also in the rare cases that losing the bumper ability would cause you to throw your grenades, that's been fixed out as well also. So absolutely huge changes for that, and I'm greatly happy that that was fixed out, and now I don't have the fear of grenading my own teammate whenever we're looting a stash. But that said, that's we're gonna wrap it up. That is the update, a rather small one, but surprisingly had some decent content in it compared to what we normally get for just our regular Tuesday playlist updates. So that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is there anything in particular you may have hoped for? Of course, we do still have one more title update for January, presumably coming next Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that and anything that may be announced by Treyarch as the week continues to pass by. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 4, multiplayer, Blackout, Zombies. We got you covered with the best of updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered with all that. So if any interests you, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to strike my conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below to both those. Well, let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.